All right. Hi, how are you? It's been a while since you heard from me. Well, I'm back today. Got a couple of different things I want to talk to you on, and let's dive into it. All right. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that I haven't made any content in few weeks because I've been dealing with the results of my choices over the last 6 or 7 months. So, I have had a lot of stuff going on. I've had to make a lot of adjustments. I've had to deal with that stuff. And in the interim, in the last several months, I made a choice that I thought was going to be a beneficial choice for me, one that was going to be joy giving. It has turned out to not be. And now I'm finding myself having to pivot, and right now, I am doing my best to lay the groundwork to ensure a smooth pivot into something better, something that is more suited to me. All right. So there's that. Now, the other thing is that several weeks ago, I put a contribution button on my YouTube channel. Is for my Cash App. Actually, somebody did contribute to me, so I want to thank that person right now. Thank you for sending me a contribution. It was very appreciated. Thank you so very much. I have chosen to take the Cash App link off. All right. So now what I'm deciding to do is to create a community. Now, this certainly kind of goes against what I've said in the past, right? Here's my thing. Whenever I have said about, people asking for a contribution, I'm not really talking about other source players because I have witnessed on YouTube, particularly non source player people who are exploiting those who don't have a strong source self connection, and have no ability to discern who is or who is not a source player. They're asking for financial contributions to people. So they're exploiting people. They're trying to get money out of people, whatever the case may be, which, I mean, ever since her channel was established, people have been, trying to exploit it in one way or another by either reposting her content somewhere, or whatever the case may be for their own gain, and it's inevitable that it happens. Okay. But so that's always been my thing because I've seen entities trying to swindle people, trying to pass themselves off as source, and they're not. That's why. And to be very honest, like there's not one actual source player that I have come across who has any kind of content produced on YouTube that is actually asking for a contribution. They may have a little thing on an outro, and that's fine. And they may have a link. They're giving you the opportunity to support them if you so choose. You don't have to support them because they're still doing what they're going to do. And that's basically it. I'm choosing to create a little community because I can provide content in various forms, not just video. I mean, to do a video, first of all, I have to make myself look somewhat presentable, although that hasn't been the case. But, there's this comfort. Whether or not I'm comfortable appearing that way on video remains to be seen. You know, I would prefer that I have myself better prepared physically to be more groomed on videos. And with audios, I still have to edit them and make them into a video format. So it's just steps for me that have to go into making that content. Whereas if I'm writing something in a post or something, it's I don't have to worry about any of that because once I write it, it's done. I might have to edit the grammar or something. Actually, if you use Grammarly, you don't have to. So that's all I'm saying. It's just a way for me to kind of create content on the fly that will help fit into my schedule a little better, if that makes sense. And while, I could very easily make audio recordings on my phone, most of the time, I'm not in an environment where it's going to be nice, clear audio like this that I'm making on my better microphone and can run it through software that will remove noise. If I'm doing it on my phone, more than likely I'd be in my car. You would hear all that. Like I could really make a lot of content. I could, but I want to provide you something that is somewhat of a decent quality. That's my point. So, writing something, I can just write it. I could be sitting here in my pajamas with my head up in my messy bun, as I am most of the time, and you wouldn't know, you know? So that's it. And the community kind of gives you a space to support each other and encourage each other. And it gives me a way to deter non-source players or source players that have no intention of removing any of the lower frequency activities, and they're not going up their frequencies at all. Like they're choosing to remain in the red zone, and there's no value of having a person on that frequency among any higher frequency source players. There's just no value. They're not your family, they're not somebody you know, so there's no value there. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm pretty much going to have that policy that, if you're don't join if you meet one of these criteria here. You're not welcome. You will not be welcome. It's very simple. So that's how it is, regardless if they've contributed it or not. They'll get whatever. If they get banned, I don't know how the site works, but I don't want their contribution. I don't want their participation. That's just to protect all of anybody who would join and myself. Because I've already found people who are on my channel who don't belong here. And I mean, it is what it is. I can't control those people. I can block them and hope that they don't come back. But listen, here's the other thing that I want to point out. I'm not doing this on Patreon, and I'm kind of putting this information out to other source players who do have Patreon pages to consider maybe taking your community off of Patreon. And here's why. I've recently found on social media, somebody posted this week on social media, on TikTok, there was a review from a former security engineer at Patreon. They posted a review on Glassdoor about the company. It's an anonymous review. The person's not named, but this was a person who worked there, and they were aware, being in the security department of the technology that is Patreon, okay? They were aware of lower frequency content that does not align with my values, really would not align with any source player's values. Now listen, I know that this is all an illusion. However, I am choosing that my energy exchange not go through a platform where they are condoning certain content to be propagated through their platform. And that certain content deals with a certain category of unsavory content that revolves around CP. Okay, so their stance from what this person's post was, they are not removing that content unless authorities, I would assume either police or FBI or whoever, whatever law enforcement authorities were to make that request that it be removed or what have you. So they know it's there, they know it exists on their servers. They know it exists on their servers, yet they're choosing to ignore it. They're choosing to turn a blind eye. So I don't align with that. That is a very low frequency choice. Okay, so I'm just moving away from that. And keeping my membership on Buy Me a Coffee, which provides all the same benefits as having a Patreon. So anybody that is a source player that makes content, that has a community of their own, you may want to consider moving it off of Patreon until they fix their issue. I'm just saying. So something for you to think about. And that's that. So yeah, my link will be active on my channel. And thank you for everybody who has continued to be a subscriber here. And hopefully I can bring you a lot more content now. And yeah, let's go. All right. So thanks. Stay well. And I'll see you on the flip side. All right.